Today's episode is the final part of our 5-part series to help you launch your firm into 2024. Each day this week, we're dropping a new episode to guide you in setting your firm up for next year in 1 hour per day. If you haven't listened to episodes 1 through 4, go back and listen to them first, then come back here. Today's hour will be spent on finance. Let's go.
Run your law firm the right way. This is the Maximum Lawyer Podcast. Your hosts, Jim Hacking and Tyson Mutrux. Let's partner up and maximize your firm. Welcome to the show.
Day 5, it's Saturday, and we are talking about finances, Jimmy. And this is one where some of you might want to say, oh, it's Saturday, I don't want to do any work, but this might be the most important day of all of them. And because your finances, getting those in order are important. So where are you starting, Jimmy? What are you doing with that hour?
Well, this might not be a big surprise to you, Tyson, but I don't have a lot of fun or energy behind budgeting or cost control. Those things are just sort of not my bag. We have other people in the office, especially Amani, my wife, who's really good at those kinds of things. I tend to gravitate towards things like diversifying revenue streams. Where am I going to get new lines of cases? In fact, at our mastermind in Miami this year, I was listening to a fellow immigration lawyer talking about a type of case that we don't handle that I thought could actually fold nicely into our firm. And it also is seasonal, and it has sort of times of the year where it's busy. And it happens to be that those times of year aren't really busy for us. So I thought that might be something new. So, Dean Jackson would say, get out your legal pad and just sort of brainstorm on sources of revenue that you might be ignoring at your peril that you could have been using or that you can use in 2024 to try to bring in new business. Might be that you've gone completely digital and try to get all your cases electronically. Well, maybe we should spend a little bit of time focusing on, referrals and meeting other lawyers and finding cases that way. So I think that diversification when it comes to income streams, marketing, and where potential cases come from is always going to be time well spent.
I think that's great. Let me ask you something. If I am in the United States, so I move from, let's say I move from India, okay, and I bring my kids with me, and then I ultimately become a U.S. citizen. Do my kids become a U.S. citizen, or do they not become a U.S. citizen?
So if there's rules on that and when you entered, but basically if you become a citizen before they turn 18 and they're living with you in their custody, they have a green card, basically they're going to become citizens by operation of law.
Interesting. Okay. But let's say that by the time you become a U.S. citizen, they're like 22. What happens then?
Well, assuming they had a green card, they would have to apply on their own. So like Adela's mom naturalized, but when Adela's mom naturalized, Adela was 19. So Adela had to go through the naturalization process herself, actually, while she was working with me.
Gotcha. Okay. So the reason I was asking is, so I think if I were, so your initial answer changes this a little bit, but I think what you could do is, and for personal injury attorneys especially, we could white label, and this is just based on what you're talking about when it comes to like finding different revenue streams, without actually handling estate planning cases. We could white label something with another law firm, or we could partner with another law firm to offer something to our clients. So like if someone came to you, Jim, and said, and you may not, agree to do something like this, but let's say that they came to you and they said, hey, offer this estate planning package worth $5,000 to your email list. And let's say we'll offer it for, $4,000 and we'll give you a third of it or something like that. Well, that could actually be a significant amount of money in your pocket. So that's just one suggestion based on what you said, but there's other ways that you can find revenue streams without actually taking on a completely new case type. So I think that taking that time to think about those things is time well spent. But I am going to go more towards the cost control strategies is where I'm going to go, Jim. And during this time, this 1 hour is a way that you could add tens of thousands of dollars into your pocket without lifting another finger, without getting another case, without doing a whole lot of work, just by cutting some costs. And so if you go through, review your vendor list and, like Jim was talking about, identify those renewal dates, and see if there's a renewal coming up. Like for example, I know that we have a renewal with Ring Central. We pay them yearly. It's coming up soon, and I need to make sure that we have got that canceled because we're switching to another platform. You look at those recurring expenses and see where you can cut those things and actually determine if you truly do need those things and do you actually use them. There's a program off the top of my head where I keep telling myself, well, I'm going to use it, but I've been locked in at such a low price. I've been keeping it. The reality is that we just need to get rid of it because we're just not using it. And then find once you've gone through that list and you've cut these things, cancel all of those items that you're paying for on a regular basis. You're going to be so surprised by how much more money you're going to put in your pocket at the end of the day. It's going to make you mad, actually. So if you're not doing that on a regular basis, use this time to do that. That way you can save yourself a bunch of money and make more money at the same time. All right, Jimmy, any final words? So now we're a couple days before New Year. So I guess Happy New Year's, everybody. Merry Christmas, everyone that celebrates Christmas. But any final words from the Jimbo?
Yeah, and that would be enjoy the other 7 hours of your business day. Don't feel like you have to do all this stuff. One thing I've learned this year in 2023 is that you get a lot more done when you do less. You're a lot more effective when you're not overloaded. So we're trying to be purposeful about how to spend these hours for that week, 1 hour each day, and that you make sure that you're getting good sleep, you're having fun, you're relaxing with family, you're seeing your loved ones, you're enjoying the holidays. And, there's a time for everything, but don't feel like you have to slave away that whole week when your office is closed.
Yeah. And whether you use our examples or not, use that 1 hour each day and just knock it out of the park. You're going to be so much better for it if you do that. So spend that time, 1 hour a day, get it knocked out, and you'll just be happier for it. All right, man. Let's end it and have a wonderful day.
Thanks for listening to the Maximum Lawyer Podcast. To stay in contact with your host and to access more content, go to MaximumLawyer.com. Have a great week and catch you next time.